Morning chillins. Phil Beckwith, the professional painter and decorator. Back, I'm going to say a riveting video. I'm always doing riveting videos. Back with a riveting video. ScuffX. ScuffX. That's all I'm going to say. Benjamin Moore. It's a video on Benjamin Moore. Sounds like a film. There's Brad Pitt in a film called Benjamin Moore. Can't remember. But ScuffX seems to be a buzzword at the moment on the internet. Painting and decorating forums. Oh, say internet. We're talking about Instagram, aren't we, and Facebook and stuff like that. But it seems to be a bit of a buzzword. And recently, I'm going to give you a bit of a finger up in that corner. I've been testing paint products. Now, me testing paint products hasn't gone unnoticed. It's not gone unnoticed at all. I've had a few manufacturers contact me. Not for sponsorship, and definitely Porsche hasn't been in touch yet. But there's been a few paint reps that have seen the videos, enjoyed the videos, also liked other videos that I've done, which is brilliant. The more you watch, the more money I make. There's definitely not a Porsche on the drive. I'm still working on it. But on a serious note, no. Some paint reps have been in touch. You've probably seen one of the videos. Isomat was one, and I've also had Dulux customer services get in touch, like the videos, like what I've been doing, which is brilliant. I've got videos coming up in the future with Dulux. They've sent me a few sample tins. So again, no sponsorship, no money's changed hands. It's just a case that they've reached out to me and said, Phil, you need to try these paints that we've got. And I'll say thank you very much. If there is any manufacturers or reps that are watching that say they've got something that want me to have a look at, please get in touch, feel free. Usual channels. Answers on a postcard, that sort of thing. But no, one of the people that's been in touch with me is, I'll say an old friend of mine. I can't say an old friend as in I go drinking with him or anything like that, but is one of the paint reps that I've known over the years, Ben Adams. Some of you might know Ben Adams from when he used to work at Tickerilla. That's where I knew him, good number of years, 5, 6, 7 years ago. He's moved on, he's been to other companies in between, and he's given me a shout out himself. I can't get my words out. He's given me a shout out and said, Phil, you've tried the rest, now try the best. And I'll put that in inverted commas, because he sent me a ScuffX tin. ScuffX, ScuffX tin. Beauty of this, water-based paint. It's durable. I'll read the tin. Scuffed resistant interior latex paint. Can't say any fairer than that. Water-based. We love water-based. I'm doing mainly water-based paint testing on Doris the Door, and you know what's on there if you've watched other videos. I'll give you a link just there. Chalk paint from Aldi. Yeah, I've rubbed it down, dusted it off. We're going to be trying some proper paint. But no, extreme durability. We like extreme durability. It's for high traffic areas. Now this is I'm going to use the American term because I think I've got my new friend, loose terms again, I've got Spencer over in Florida. Spencer, he does all the videos on the wallpapering in America. I'm not going to give you a link to him. There'll be some comments probably below from him. But no, in America they use the word trim. In the UK we use the word, woodwork. Now this is a paint that you can use on the woodwork. I won't be surprised if people had put this on the walls as well. And if you're a person who's used this, can you use it on walls? Possibly you can. I've got the little brochure. I've not read it, I don't do reading, but you can probably use it on walls. But I'm not doing a wall testing video, I'm doing woodwork, and we've got Doris the Door. So high traffic areas, it's good for if you're touching it. Right, now they've sent me a sample can. Now this is just a trial pack. It's water based, I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to do what I normally do. I've got my brush that's from Wix. It's my cheap brush from Wix. And I'm going to do exactly the same. Coat the door up properly. You've seen those videos. I'm going to give it 2 coats, because the beauty with this paint is it's a 2-coat process. Now I'm going to go extreme with this. We've got the cream of the chalk paint and we've got the black of the chalk paint. We're going to see how it covers, aren't we? We're going to see what the coverage stroke opacity is like on this. And do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give it the 2 coats. We'll probably say over black we'd give it an extra coat, but I've taped it off halfway. I'm going to give it 2 coats, see what it's like. I'm going to flip the door over, and on another video, depending on when you're watching this, I've got some Dulux trade, because this is, thank you Dulux, you know who you are that's been emailing me. This is Dulux Diamond Satin Wood. Now this is another product that is in effect self undercoating. It's 2 coats. So I'm going to compare this against Benjamin Moore, not in the same video, on separate videos, but we'll be able to see the door. Now, going back to basics, if you're new to painting and decorating, let's go back years when we used to use oil-based paints. Oil-based paints, if it's an eggshell or a satin wood, it's self-undercoating, which means you give it a coat, a first coat of its own paint, if it was oil-based satin wood or eggshell. Oil-based gloss, used to give an oil-based undercoat and then a coat of gloss. Water-based is all coming through, and it always seems now that you've got the specialist undercoat that goes with the paint to give a 2-coat finish. Does that make sense? I'll show you. Got loads of Dulux. Dulux, this is water-based, quick drying undercoat. It's got a number 1 on it. That's what you put on as your first coat. And then when you come to your top coats, whether it be a quick drying satin, it's got a, oh, where is it? Do with the gloss. Can't see it. There's a number 2 under there. So you'd use the undercoat and then you'd use the gloss over the top. But this will be a 2-coat gloss finish as well. 3 coats all the time. So going back to my ScuffX 2-coat finish. Going back to my Dulux Satin Wood 2-coat finish, all being well. And we'll compare it, see what it's like on Doris the Door. So I'm going to crack on. I'm going to keep this under a 20-minute video easily. I'm going to fast forward all my painting and we're going to review it at the end. So thanks for listening. See you in a bit. Give some comments, press that bell, subscribe, usual, while you're waiting. So as I was saying, straight out the tin. I don't thin the paint when I'm testing it, because it's literally straight out the tin. I've never used it before. It's like you are testing or trying paint for the first time. I'm doing exactly the same. I'm doing it like you'd be doing it. Once you get the feel of a paint, you'll know whether you need a splash of water or not. But for now, straight out the tin. I'm going to put it in one of my eco-friendly paint kettles, just so it holds it like that. But yeah, and going back, you can use it on walls and everything like that, but we're doing it on the door. Right, I'm going to smile, I'm going to start, and then it'll be fast forwarded. I'm going to say praise the Lord. Can I say that? Not being biblical or anything. Do you know what? That goes on a dream. If I say it's got a bit of a texture, it's like it's not like an oil paint. It's not like oil paint. It's just, you know, when you microwave a bit of ice cream and it goes a bit more easy to eat. It's like that. It's like a creamy. It goes on like creamy, but really nice. And I'm going to bring you in. I'm going to bring you in because we know we've gone over black. But for one coat, that's not covered bad at all. I'd say that's really, really, really impressive. Over the cream, it's been good as well. I mean, it's still wet. I'll tell you what, let's come back in about 10-15 minutes, a bit longer. I'm going to give it about an hour. Let it dry and I'll come back. Let's have a look at it dry and I'll give it another coat. And do you know what? I'm going to say, do you know what? That's that nice. I'm going to swap from that cheapo brush and I'm going to get, you know, my Arrowworthies. I'm going to give the second coat of that with an Arrowworthy because that is so nice. I want to see what it's like with an Arrowworthy, a proper brush. So what I'll do, I'll probably do a section for a second coat with the Wicks brush, and then I'll swap over to one of these and see what it's like. But really impressed, really impressed. I'll be back with you. I'm back. You won't believe how quick that dried. I bet that was dry within about 10 minutes. Now drying time's about an hour, and it says recoat time 2 to 3 hours. I'm not quite at that 2 to 3 hours, but it's dry enough for me to do my next coat, so we're not too worried about drying times. It's dry. Lovely. I'm not nibbing down either. Right, because I wasn't too sure. Looking in the brochure, this is brilliant. This paint you can use hallways and, I don't know, gymnasiums and everywhere like that. So this looks like one of these paints that you can use anywhere, from ceiling to walls. What am I going to say? I'm going to say trim. Oh. Wash me mouth out. Woodwork. We call it woodwork. And because Ben Adams, who sent me this sample tin, sent me the colour card as well. What a lovely colour card that is. You can't see that. I don't think you can see these colours. Some lovely light colours. Now, I'm not saying the colours are quite like Farrow and Ball. I wonder if anybody at Benjamin Moore used to work at Farrow and Ball. I wouldn't be surprised. Both American companies. Well, I don't think Farrow and Ball's American anymore, is it? It's been sold. Somebody else owns it. Used to be UK. Went to America. Now it's back somewhere else. Anyway. PPG involved? Quite possibly. I don't know. I'm saying that. I don't know whether it is or not. Right, colour card. I'm going to get coated up again. Right, as I said, I've lost my brush. Where's my brush? I've lost my brush. Lost my marbles. I'm going to do part of the door again with the brush that I've been using, and then I'm going to drop. I've got a nice Arrowworthy slash cut 2-inch, and I'm going to finish the door off with that. So let's crack on. Not covered bad. Said that earlier. Not covered bad. I'll do the edge. I'll do top section, then I'm dropping to the other brush. Said to be back, and I am back. Right, 2 coats have gone on that now. 2 coats on Doris the door. let's give a bit of a review, round it up. Now you saw that I changed brushes. When I was doing that first initial edge down there for the second coat, I just thought to myself, it just went on a bit, not grinny, a bit glazy. And it is, a little bit transparency, see-through-y, glazy, that's how we call it, glazy. Don't forget this is black. I'm asking a lot for a white paint, and all my sample paints that I'm doing at the moment, on that link that you saw, I'm doing white, because white is the one that we have problems with in the trade, or if you're a DIY or an amateur, you'll always find white seem to have a problem covering. And the whole purpose of these videos that I'm doing, a series of videos of testing product testing paint, is seeing what white's like when I'm doing these demos on Doris the Door. A little bit grinny, but then I thought to myself, am I being a bit too hard? Because it is a black. And I thought, yeah, let's bring it in. But I got coating up. Started off with the 1.5" brush. A bit skewy. Started off with the 1.5" brush. Not bad, not bad. But then when I dropped onto a proper, I'll call it a proper hour-worthy brush, I must say, application-wise, it was, I don't want to quite say night and day, but using a proper, decent brush made a lot of difference from the application of the paint, and it went on beautifully. Now, where we'd got those cream panels, 2-coat coverage, what a winner. That is beautiful, and yeah, it's dry. I'm just trying to think. If I put my hand on it, the warmth of the hand, does it try and soften it? No, it's not. It feels rock hard. It wouldn't be fair for me, because they've not been done very long, to try and do scratch testing on it. It says that they're a hard-wearing finish durable. Give it a week, give it a bit longer. If you want to do scratch tests, I want to know what this paint's like for you and me applying a paint that we say it covers nice. Yeah, it covers beautifully over the cream, over the black. And again, I'm repeating myself, and you know I like to repeat myself. 2 coats over the black, I'm impressed. I will say that is the best paint that I've seen over these last few months, where I've been sampling and demoing white paints for a coverage for 2 coats. 2 coats over black, that's covered really nice. Stands to reason. I think if you were in the trade and you were pricing a job up and you got a really dark colour, personally, I'd probably say I'd allow 3 coats of this paint. How expensive is it? Can anybody tell me? I think it's about, is it about 95 quid for a 2.5, 3 litre tin? Confirm, give us some comments. But that over the black has covered really well. The cream, no problem. The black, I'd say I'm impressed with that. Out of all the paints I've tried these last few weeks, these last few months, where am I putting it? I'm putting it really at the top. Probably the price might go against it for a lot of people, but as I always say, there's always people always moaning about prices and everything. Materials for the day-to-day general painter and decorator, materials are a small percentage of the overall cost for a price of a room. You're going, well, what are you on about? I'll say labour costs. Our labour costs far outweigh what material costs are. So if something's going to cost an extra 5, 10, 15 quid for a tin of paint on a room, a general room, it's a drop in the ocean. And I know some people are shouting at me now saying, yeah, but if you're doing a big room and you've got multiple, I know that, but if you're working at that level, hopefully you've got the customers that appreciate that, and materials are still going to be cheaper than what your labour costs are. And if you want to know about costings and everything, please look at that video. If you're self-employed in the building trade, please look at that video there about earnings. It's relevant from when I did it months ago to now to next year. It's the same principles. Please watch it. Going back to this, really impressed, like it. No sponsorship. Ben was really good. Sent me a t-shirt, cough freebie t-shirt. If you go to the Painter and Decorating show in the UK in Coventry every November, you get plenty of these given you. Do you know, on that note, I'm going to call it a day. This is getting out of 5 stars, I'm not going to give it 5 because nothing can have 5 because nothing can be perfect. This is getting a 4 to 4.5. So if you're asking me, this is a 4 and a 4.5 out of 5. Really impressed. Thank you very much for those that have told me to try it out. The sheen is beautiful. This is a satin finish. I can't fault that satin finish. What does it spray like? That'll be in the future. I'll do a spray video using this, using a proper HVLP. Try it out. Get a tin, even if you just buy a small tin. Use it at home. Use it at home. Try it out first, but that is a cracking paint, and it's been a 2 paint, and it's not BIN from Zinza, it's been 2 coats, not an undercoat and 2 top coats. This has been a proper 2 coat paint system, like back in the old days of the oil base, like I said earlier at the beginning. Very impressed. Thanks, Ben. Might be some videos coming up. Please click away. Help me get that Porsche.